Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 and the playthrough of the Baltimore Bee-Holes, a team where every player has to have a negative personality. So, international free agent time has come and gone. I had discussed two different strategies I might try, and I went with the swingier one. I'm signing the Wolfman. He doesn't have a negative personality, but I think one of two things can happen. He can develop a more negative personality, or he can begin developing, and he's already at 1 star at 17 years old, got a little bit of development. Already he's prepared to jump into rookie ball. If he begins developing over the next year or two, we might get an amazing deal for him if he does not get that bad personality. So let's go ahead. I think the Hall of Fame results are coming up tomorrow. And it's looking like nobody got in. Poor Andrew Jones, only 73% of the vote. You got to feel for the guy, even if you don't think he should make it. That's pretty rough. And Omar Vizquel drops off finally. Andy Pettit's going to drop off soon, as will Bobby Abreu. And Ryan Zimmerman never got anywhere, unfortunately for him. And that's about it. It's January 21st, and it looks like the lack of availability of quality free agents has really driven up the price. Ranger Suarez, who we've been kind of looking at on and off this entire save, has just signed a deal for $27.8 million for 5 years. And that's $27.8 million every year. That'll be an interesting gamble for the Mets. We'll see if it pays off. Go ahead and sim forward to the beginning of the preseason and see what happens with our budget. And I've got to stare at that screen with the Rays beating me last year. Really, OOTP? Financial update, we have $272 million. I don't think there was a change, so that's all looking good. Camilo Duvall signs... Okay, 3-year, $14.5 million. I thought that was $14.5 million a year. That's actually a very low price. Very interesting. And Chris Sale. Oh, wow. So, Chris Sale, 37 years old, $42 million pitcher, right up there with Zach Wheeler. So, very interesting. And our international free agent that we were checking out, he's going to be making, it looks like $8.3 million a year. Very interesting offseason with there being so few players available. Quick preseason player development update. So Will Vest has lost a tick. He's lost a little stamina, but he's improved his control. That's not a terrible result. Tanner Scott losing potential movement down to 55 is a bad result, so a little worried about that. And then Manny Machado, his speed has dropped to 30, his potential power has dropped to 50, and it looks like he's beginning his decline for real. Hopefully we get one more decent year out of Manny Machado. It's now February 26th, and we have begun spring training. I invited 60 players. So far, no injuries on the team, which is great. And we have got our long program development results back. So Gage Wood, outstanding improvement in control. But it does say that the ratings only improved by less than 5, which is interesting. Nothing showing up yet on his page. No improvement for Jackson Holiday. Troy Taylor, gifted reliever that we're hoping to leave up on the team. His control has allegedly improved. Trey Sweeney just having a heck of a time with development. He's lost power and eye trying to improve his contact. So that is a terrible result, and it might result in him leaving the team. Boy, we're getting hammered here. Shane Smith, a reasonable prospect, is somewhat fragile and has less stamina now. No improvement for Grayson. Jose Ferrer has improved his control. That's nice. No improvement for Tristan Casas on strikeouts. Trent Harris has improved, let's see, his curveball, it looks like. Okay, I thought it would default to the slider, but it's going to go ahead and make that curveball really, really good now, which is cool. Zach Geloff, no improvement in strikeouts, unfortunate. Henry Davis has completed his gap power program and apparently improved by 10, although it really only improved by 5. They need to work on making these emails a little more accurate. I don't know what's going on with that. Emmanuel Clase, his slider improved by 5, and he got 5 on its potential. So that's really cool to see. Logan Webb, his sinker has improved by 5. Okay. Any little bit helps. No improvement for Tarek Skubal or Gabe Geckel or Zion Theophilus. And Braden Jaska has completed a plate discipline program, although that also doesn't seem to be showing up on his page. So, not the most successful development lab, but we'll take it. Quick injury update. It's not too bad, but Mason Wynn is going to be out about 3 weeks with an elbow strain. He'll be back, say, third week of the season, hopefully. It is March 18th and the start of the official regular season. We don't play for a bit over a week from now. The predictions have Baltimore going 93-69, so it looks like a nice year for the B-holes. New York is supposed to win about 100 games. Realistically, it's going to be a really tough 3-team race at the top, but that would be better than a 4-team race, so let's hope it goes that way. Tarek Skubal gets a mention as a top pitcher, and Tristan Casas gets a mention as a potential top hitter. How many homers is Judge supposed to hit? 51. And in the National League, it has Fernando Tatis leading the way with 48 homers. Paul Skeens is supposed to pitch really well, which makes a lot of sense. And it's got Cincinnati winning 95 games, but less domination than there was last year with Cincinnati in particular, and Atlanta. They won 99 games last year, and the expectation is that it's going to be a little closer. We have a Yasiel Puig update. He appears to be playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers this year, so that's pretty awesome. Last year in Indy Ball, he hit .392, and yeah, it's going to be fun. We are set to begin on our opening day against San Francisco, and as you can see, there has been a major shakeup. Jackson Holliday, we're going to throw him over in right field and see how he does. I mean, if he's going to be 70 rated in left, he's going to be at least 60 rated in right, isn't he? I don't know. We'll find out. He's got that great range, so we're going to put that to use because, boy, do we need a right fielder. Second base is going to be manned by Zach Geloff. We'll see how that goes. We also have Casey Schmidt, who doesn't have the greatest turn double play, but he's got great range, error, and arm. And then Trey Sweeney could also potentially play second, and I think that is probably where we're headed, but I want to give Geloff a chance to start out strong because he's got a little room in that avoid Ks, and I just want him to get more plate appearances and see if he develops. Griffin Conine jumping over to DH. That is a better place for him, and hopefully we'll be able to make use of that bat without having to worry about his fielding. Newbar still in left. Brenton Doyle still in center. Mason Wynn is back from his minor injury. He is at shortstop. Machado still at third. Casas at first. Davis behind the plate. And Corey Lee, the improved Corey Lee, backing him up. Mateo is going to be the primary backup in center field, and he'll also have small roles throughout the infield. In fact, let me replace Geloff at first. You know what? I want Corey Lee there. Yeah, let's put Corey Lee here. And Schmidt, Sweeney, Lee, Mateo in the order of pinch hitters looks pretty good. Yeah, Sweeney should get plenty of backup time this year. He's got left field, right field, shortstop, second base, which is a little bit of an odd mix, but that does seem to match his skill set. So there you have it. We're going to also regenerate some lineups. I suppose I trust this to be okay. Weird with Griffin Conine hitting ninth. I'm more of an old school kind of guy. Like Griffin Conine would never be batting ninth if I were doing this. But I will let OOTP do what it's doing. Everybody on my team's capable of hitting. And if we move over to the pitching, the staff this year, the starting five is going to be Skubal, Webb, Rodriguez, Jordan Hicks, and David Peterson. The same five who rounded out last year. And in the bullpen, one minor change. Trent Harris has been sent down. Lefty Jose Ferrer has been sent back up after cleaning up in AAA. We're hoping he's back to his winning ways. We have also got Hunter Gaddis in there. And Clase is our closer. Bizardo and Vest in the setup roles. And Tanner Scott taking that use more often middle relief role. Zach Gallen in long relief. It is March 20th, and we have lost our home opener to San Francisco. I initially made a video where I simmed through that with you, but I lost it due to recording in the wrong screen resolution. If we move over to the depth charts, we'll see that we've got Kyle Tucker in right, Griffin Conine at DH. We're going to see how he does. We sent down Zach Geloff. We can bring him back up to replace Conine if we need to, or possibly Cody Clemens bringing him up again. We'll see how he recovers from his broken knee. Everything else is back to the way it should be. And if we move over to the pitching, I have brought up relief prospect Troy Taylor, who had 23 good innings for us last year. Let's hope that this year his ERA manages to drop below 54. We've got the same starting five, and hopefully we won't miss Manuel Rodriguez too much. It is only April 7th, and we've had our first major injury. It's going to be Lars Nootbaar out for 6 weeks with an oblique. And replacing him, Griffin Conine moving back to left field, and we brought up Cody Clemens to DH for us. Zach Geloff is injured, diagnosis pending. April 17th, and the draft class has been revealed. One guy jumping out at me immediately on the batter's side, catcher Rin Sugano. Wow, is all I got to say about that. And pretty good chance at developing here because he's already pretty far along. Maybe ready to jump into Double A or High A, maybe. Let's see. We're in the Texas League. Oh, he's beyond ready to jump into Double A. That said, catchers are valued highly, and there's very little chance that we'll get a crack at him. There is another 5-star potential, Dan Litwin. And it's intriguing for sure, but he doesn't have very good ratings on defense. And I'm not going to take a guy billed as a center fielder with 50 range. And 4.5-star prospect, Adam Gines. He's just kind of okay. And Larry Thatcher, and another guy who's just okay. So while the ratings seem quite high, the players don't seem to really be matching that quality. If we scroll over to the pitchers, tons of unknowns here. Angelo Zavala jumps out. He really jumps out, actually. I mean, the velocity is not developed. He is only 17, but look at the kind of technical development he's had so far. So if the AI is undervaluing pitchers this year like they did in the last 2 drafts, Angelo Zavala is my guy, 100%. So yeah, we'll learn more about these draftees and we'll take a closer look at them as it gets closer to that time. April 19th, our record has jumped to 12-8. And for the very first time in our 3rd season, we have a player of the week. And it's going to be Cody Clemens with an OK 370, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. So great for him. And looking forward to Cody Clemens continuing to step up. It's now May 1st, and we are 20-10. But Jackson Holliday got hurt. He's going to be out for about a week. So hopefully it remains that minor injury and he doesn't stay out even longer. If we go over to our May 1st development update, Jordan Hicks has lost a little stamina and pitch movement, added a circle change, but on balance, that's a loss. Cam Cannarella, an important prospect who has been promoted to AAA, he has gained outfield rating, he's gained eye, and he's lost potential gap. So on balance, a very positive change. We have a couple of catchers and a right fielder down in our minors who are developing well. I think Nick Hollyfield, yeah, he has that bad personality, so we can develop him. What is Kevin Guerrero looking like? Potential trade bait down the line. And scrolling down, I'm not seeing any super important names, but I am seeing a lot of green. Starting pitcher Julian Hernandez, who is in the rookie league. He's in the Florida league. And yeah, coming along pretty well. He's got an interesting mix too. Curveball, screwball changeup for his off-speed pitches. And I think Adrian Heredia is, yeah, he's an extreme flight baller. He's not a bad personality, so somebody we're not super interested in. And basically, as we scroll down, we're seeing more green than red. That's good. Roman Jackson. Okay. Yeah, any development we can get is nice. It looks like our coaches, we went through and hired all brand new coaches all through the minors, and it looks like that is paying off on balance. It is May 16th, and we're still playing fairly well. We're 27-16, and we're in second place in our division. We need to make a couple pitching changes, though. Zach Gallen, I just think it's time for him to go. I think there's some underlying decline here that we're not seeing, and we're paying him $17.5 million a year, and we were expecting him to be a starter for us. And then Hunter Gaddis, not really working out so well. I think I'm going to DFA him. But first piece of business is getting rid of Zach Gallen's contract, and we did find an efficient way to do it. If we go over to the New York Mets, they're willing to keep a couple million on Aroldis Chapman this year, and I will have to retain 45% of Zach Gallen and give up to like 2-star, 1.5-star guys in the minors. This one kind of hurts. It's gonna, because we're still gonna have to carry like $8 million and $7 million on this Gallen deal. But I think Chapman's gonna help out our bullpen just a little bit. If we see how he is certainly declined, but he is still a pitcher. He's still in there. So we're gonna give Chapman a shot. And if we don't get any productivity out of him, that's not that big a deal because we can just cut him. So there we go. R.I.P. Zach Gallen. And to replace the pitchers we got rid of course, Aroldis Chapman coming in. He's coming in middle relief. And then Trent Harris has been brought back up from AAA. He's not necessarily pitching great, but he is kind of my guy with the best ratings in AAA. So he's the one coming up. So good luck, everybody. Still the same day, Jackson Holliday has spent a week down rehabbing his minor injury in AAA. He's ready to come back up, and so we have a decision to make. Zach Geloff is hitting the ball great. His OPS plus is like 130, 140, something like that. One of the most productive members on our team throughout his 51 at-bats so far this year. Cody Clemens is also playing very well, and so I would like to keep both their bats quite nearby. I'm probably going to have them split the DH role. I've sent down Jorge Mateo, which is unfortunate for him, but his OPS plus was 35, and we just can't abide that. Cody Clemens, he can play a little bit of the outfield, 50-50, 60. He's by far my next best rated outfielder. He's even a little bit better than Trey Sweeney. So we have to hope Brenton Doyle doesn't get hurt, basically, or Kyle Tucker, to be honest, who is, by the way, not hitting him all that great. He is hitting for some power, which is nice. He has a positive OPS plus, but not getting quite the production we had hoped for out of him in on the offense. But in right field, he is already putting up a solid zone rating, and so we're going to go ahead and be happy about the Kyle Tucker trade. So Mike Trout was apparently scolded by the Angels about his tailgating parties. Um, they have attracted several hundred fans before each game. I'm thinking a Mike Trout tailgating party would be more like several thousand fans each game. Nevertheless, Mike Trout, behave yourself, buddy. And get over your hamstring tendonitis, you perpetually injured guy. Man. Okay, so if we go into our lineups and depth charts, we are 1/3 of the way through the season at 54 games played. We are 35-19, 648 win percentage. Very cool. Tristan Casas leading in OPS plus, followed by Zach Geloff, surprisingly. Jackson Holiday has made it back. Lars Nootbaar is on his rehab assignment. We'll have some difficult decisions to make when he gets off of that. Let's change that to just batters. Everyone is a league average or better hitter except Trey Sweeney. You couldn't ask for more. How cool is that? Home runs, Tristan Casas putting up 16 so far, 1/3 of the way through the season. And our walks are looking a little bit better this year. Kyle Tucker has a great eye, and so he's been a good addition to that. And if we're just seeing on Raw WAR how much players have been putting up, everyone's in the 1 point something for the most part, which is cool. And then, of course, Conine and Clemens have been playing a lot of DH, so they're not going to acquire much WAR. If we look at stolen bases, I like that there's a decent mix of attempts and being caught, so our players are stealing at approximately the correct rate, which is good to see. And if we roll over to the pitching, we see Will Vest is tearing it up through a mere 18 innings. He's hardly given up any runs at all. Clase struggling just a tiny bit with his 4.84 ERA. Let's look at the numbers a little closer. Yeah, just a little low on strikeouts, a little high on home runs, so he's allowing strong contact, it seems like. And for our starters, Tarek Skubal struggling a little this year. Grayson Rodriguez, David Peterson haven't quite settled into things yet. Rodriguez hasn't developed into the star that I had really hoped and expected that he would. Kind of unfortunate, but Logan Webb is certainly picking up the slack. Somehow, I don't know exactly why this profile translates into such good performances, but it does. And he's hardly giving up any home runs. He's not walking very many batters, striking out a lot of guys. Just looking great. BABIP against is 286, so that ERA is probably a pretty fair reflection of how he's pitching with that sub-3. And if we move into the standings, in the American League East, we are on top of the Tampa Bay Rays, having just taken a short series off of them. At 35 wins, the Angels, surprisingly, have come on. That's got to be a bit of a fluke. And we are ahead of everyone except the Cubs and the Angels. And the Cubs looking pretty solid out there. Pete Crow Armstrong already having another nice year. And how's Dansby Swanson doing? Okay, he probably hasn't really hit his stride this year. What a great shortstop. Okay, so that's your 1/3 of the season roundup. We will get through the rest of May and then through most of June, and I will check back in if anything interesting happens. When I said something interesting happening, I was hoping for like a winning streak, a player of the month. I wasn't hoping for my starter to have 5 weeks of elbow inflammation and for Jackson Holiday to be injured with a diagnosis pending. So let's figure out what we're going to do about our rotation. Oh my gosh, Cam Cannarella also injured. This is getting ugly, folks. Okay, if we look at our starters, who's ready to come up? Shane Smith is he's extreme fly ball. He's just not exactly what we want. Ty Madden also is, I don't think these guys were both extreme fly ballers this whole time. Let's see. Okay, let's go into the pitching here and let's add, let's see, what do we need to add? Potential and overall stamina. We need to add the stamina rating. Okay, sorting by stamina. These are the 5 guys who could come up. The guy pitching best is, well, the guys pitching best are guys who are not eligible for my team. So it looks like it's probably going to be Roman Angelo coming up. So let's go ahead and get that promotion done. And we'll go into our rotation and we'll see what the AI wants to do. So it does want to put him in as a 5th starter. Somewhat interesting. I thought it might pick Trent Harris, but I'm just going to go with the wisdom of the AI on this one. And it is almost the worst news possible. Jackson Holliday is out for 5 months with a torn labrum. He's going to miss the rest of the season. Lars Nootbaar is going to be coming back from AAA. Unfortunately, also, my prospect Cam Cannarella, he's going to be out for 6 months because he broke his elbow. So, the injury ravaged Baltimore Beeholes with their great 38-24 record have now started a losing streak, and now they're losing their players as well as games. And so we're going to call it apart for here. We're going to regroup and see if we can get them next time. And if this ends up being our injury year and we have to come back in our 4th year and win it then that's what we're going to do. So thanks for watching again. I will see you next time. So long and take care.